Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Konstantin. I'm a facial plastic surgeon and New York-based facelift expert. And today I'd like to talk to you about something that I find very interesting. We will talk about 5 things that a lot of people get wrong about facelifts. Number 1, and this is of course something that's clearly wrong, but a lot of people still believe this. They say, well, facelift is only for rich and famous. I'm a regular person. There's no way I can afford it, so I'm not even gonna think about it. And this is absolutely not true because facelifts, of course, are expensive. There's no question about it. Any cosmetic procedure is expensive, and the facelifts are definitely on the expensive side of all the cosmetic procedures. But at the same time, it's well within the reach of many people who think that they cannot afford it. I would compare a facelift maybe to buying a new car if you think about it financially, because the price might be very similar to it, and if you can afford the new car, you might be able to afford a facelift as well. Now, of course, people need a new car to drive to work, bring their kids to school. Not everybody needs a facelift, but if you think that the facelift is the right procedure for you, you definitely should look into the prices, and you might be pleasantly surprised. It could be well within your reach. The second thing that a lot of people get wrong about facelift, they say, well, if I get something done, everybody would immediately know because facelifts always looks a bit unnatural. They tell me I can always say when somebody had a facelift, when I look at my friends and I notice that something is odd with them, I immediately realize they had some kind of a cosmetic procedure and probably it was a facelift. And this could not be further from the truth because a well-done facelift looks very natural, make your face look like your face, just refreshed, rejuvenated. And when we're talking about facelift that looked unnatural, it's something that quite a thing of the past, maybe 20, 30 years ago when the doctors really over-tightened and pulled the faces too much, the facelifts could look unnatural, but in today's world, by using modern technique, your face is going to look like your face, just refreshed and rejuvenated, but not a natural pulled or stretched. Number 3, and now we're going to be talking about men, which of course I can relate to. A lot of men are afraid that getting a facelift will feminize their faces. And this is not the case because we do facelifts very differently for men than we do for women, and we'd like to preserve the gender quality of the face, unless of course we specifically doing it for the reason of changing it. And men after getting facelift are not gonna look any less manly, but we would be able to get rid of the turkey neck and the jowls and the saggy cheeks and all those things that just make them look much older. Number 4, a lot of people fear this. They believe if they get a facelift, it's gonna set them on a path of becoming plastic surgery junkies. So one facelift and then the next facelift and then Botox and then fillers, and next thing you know, you cannot live without getting those cosmetic procedures, and eventually the face is just going to look completely unnatural and distorted, and all their friends going to be looking at them and saying, oh my God, what happened to you? So this is absolutely not true. Even though in the old days, of course, people were getting maybe a bit too many facelifts because facelifts were not very long lasting. So somebody would get a facelift and then repeated it a few years down the road and then get another tack-up. So it certainly was the case some years ago. But today's technique is so long lasting that most people would just get one facelift in their lifetime and they would stop at that. Number 5, this is the last one, but definitely not the least important one. A lot of people have this idea that when they're getting a facelift, less is more. They say, I don't want to do too much, so I'm going to tell my plastic surgeon just to pull very slightly so my face look refreshed, rejuvenated, but doesn't look overly tight. And I would 100% agree with not being overly tight and not doing too much. But at the same time, if you don't do enough, if you just pull very slightly, you might end up in a situation when one part of your face looks a lot more rejuvenated than the other part of the face. And that will actually look unnatural, and this is one of the telltale signs of not so well performed facelift that we as plastic surgeons look at. When I see that somebody has a perfect jawline but a sagging leg, I say, well, something is going on here. Definitely this does not happen naturally, so most likely this person had a facelift, and a lot of other people would pick something up, something that just doesn't look right, not a part of normal aging changes that they used to see. So doing less doesn't make your face look more natural. In many situations, it actually gonna make it look quite unnatural. These were 5 things a lot of people get wrong about facelifts. Now, how not to get things wrong and how to get things right, this is a big question, of course. And if I give somebody an advice, I would say you have to trust an expert. Once you find a plastic surgeon that's right for you, once you find somebody who does beautiful facelifts, ask them questions first, make sure you're on the same page, make sure you explain exactly what you're looking for, and then let them do the procedure that they feel is going to work the best for you. If you like this video and you're interested in cosmetic surgery of the face or facelifts, please ask your questions below. I'll be happy to answer them in my future videos. You can also follow me on Instagram. We put a lot of videos out there as well.